Close your eyes and feel the weight of this moment lifting. You have arrived here not by accident, but by an invisible thread that has been pulling you forward through every choice, every doubt, every restless night. That thread was woven before you were born, and tonight it completes its work. Somewhere beneath your thinking mind, beneath the noise of your day, beneath even your breath, there is a chamber. Silent. Vast, eternal. This chamber has been waiting. Not for you to find it, but for you to remember it. And as you sink deeper into this moment, letting your body grow heavy, your muscles softening like warm wax, that chamber begins to glow. You are not learning something new tonight. You are remembering something ancient. The universe does not speak in words. It speaks in frequencies, in patterns, in the silence between your heartbeats. And right now, as your conscious mind begins to step aside, the real conversation begins. This is not a recording. This is a transmission, and you are the receiver. There is a field around you that most never see. Scientists call it bioelectromagnetic, mystics call it the aura. Ancient ones called it the breath of God. But what matters is not the name. It is the truth. This field listens. Every thought you think sends ripples through it. Every emotion you feel reshapes its geometry. Every belief you hold becomes its blueprint. And while you sleep, while your defenses dissolve like salt in water, this field absorbs everything. Imagine standing at the edge of a still lake at twilight. The water mirrors the sky perfectly, stars, clouds, the last trace of gold on the horizon. Now imagine dropping a single stone into that water. Watch the ripples expand, circle after circle, carrying the impact outward until the entire lake has been touched. You are the stone. Sleep is the water. And tonight, the ripples rewrite everything. The field does not judge what you feed it. It does not ask if you deserve transformation. It simply responds. With absolute loyalty. With mathematical precision. What you impress upon it while you sleep becomes the architecture of tomorrow's reality. Feel these words not as sounds, but as truth vibrating through your cells. I am the field, and the field is me. You are not separate from the intelligence that grows trees and spins galaxies. You are not outside creation, looking in. You are creation becoming aware of itself. And tonight, Dogo adado godo edo odo dodo adano ado adado biodo wonodabo da sscod mekan sof slow peep. When your body surrenders to sleep, something extraordinary happens. The gatekeeper, your conscious mind, finally steps aside. That vigilant guard who questions everything, who resists change, who remembers every wound, it bows and retreats into the shadows. And in that absence, the subconscious rises like a dark moon. This is the part of you that does not speak, it does not argue, it does not doubt, it simply accepts. Whatever is repeated, whatever is felt deeply, whatever arrives wrapped in the language of symbol and sensation, the subconscious receives it as law. Think of your subconscious as the soil of your being. You cannot see it work, you cannot hear it growing. But every harvest of your life, every relationship, every opportunity, every moment of peace or panic grew from seeds planted in this invisible ground. Most people plant accidentally. Tonight, you plant on purpose. The ancient temple priests understood this. Before initiates could receive wisdom, they were guided into deep states of rest, hypnagogic thresholds where the conscious and unconscious merge. There, in that liminal space, words were spoken. Not lectures. Not lessons. Commands disguised as poetry. And those commands became destiny. You inherit this same power now. Not because you are special in the way ego understands special, but because you have chosen to listen when most choose to sleep unconsciously. You are here. That choice alone has already shifted the field. My sleep is sacred work. My rest rewrites reality, and so it is. Let us speak plainly about what you have been carrying, not to shame, but to release. Every fear you inherited, every belief whispered into you before you could question, every wound that cut so deep it became identity, these are not you. They are frequencies, old broadcasts, radio stations your subconscious tuned into before you knew you had a choice. Unworthiness is a frequency. Scarcity is a frequency. The belief that you must struggle is a frequency. And frequencies can be changed. Imagine your body as an ancient radio, beautiful but covered in dust. For years it has been locked onto one station, a station playing static, fear, limitation, the same song on repeat. You thought that was all there was, but tonight you reach out and turn the dial. At first there is crackling, interference, the old station tries to pull you back, but you keep turning and suddenly silence. Then a new frequency emerges, clear, pure, undeniable. This frequency has always been broadcasting. You were simply tuned away from it. The frequency of your original self, the frequency of abundance, coherence, divine alignment, the frequency of home. As you breathe now, imagine every exhale releasing the old station. Feel it dissolving like smoke, and with every inhale, feel the new frequency filling you, golden, warm, true. This is not pretending, this is remembering. I release what was never mine. I return to my original frequency, and with that the old broadcast loses power, it flickers, it fades, and the truth begins to play. Your subconscious does not understand English or Arabic or Mandarin. It speaks in something older, the language of image, emotion, and sensation. 1,000 words of logic cannot touch it, but a single image felt deeply changes everything. This is why affirmations fail for so many. They say I am wealthy, but their body feels tension. They say I am loved, but their heart remembers abandonment. The words float on the surface while the deeper truth sinks like stone. The subconscious listens to what you feel, not what you say. Imagine a child who does not yet speak. You cannot reason with them, you cannot explain, but if you smile, they smile. If you offer warmth, they soften. If you embody safety, they rest. Your subconscious is that child, and tonight, you become the parent it has been waiting for. So we will not speak in empty words, we will speak in felt truth. In visions that light up your inner world like dawn breaking over mountains. In sensations that convince the body before the mind can interfere. Picture this now. You are standing in a vast library carved from crystal. Shelves stretch infinitely in all directions, and every book is glowing. These are not ordinary books, they are programs, beliefs, patterns, stories about who you are. Some books are covered in dust. Titles like I am not enough, safety requires struggle, love is conditional. You walk to the first dusty book, and without effort it dissolves in your hands, like ash caught in wind. Then the next, and the next, each one disappearing, leaving only empty space and light. Now, from the center of the library, new books begin to appear. They materialize from pure light and their titles shine. I am the field of all possibilities. Abundance flows through me like breath. I am loved simply for existing. These books do not need to be read. They simply are. And as they appear, your subconscious, the librarian of your soul, places them on the shelves. Carefully, reverently, knowing they will shape every tomorrow you wake into. The old library is empty, full. I think it begins to slopey spiral. There is a spiral inside you, not metaphorical, not imagined, actual. Your DNA coils in spirals. Your cochlea spirals into your inner ear. Your fingerprints, your hair. Even the water draining from your sink spirals. You are a spiral being in a spiral universe. And sleep is the spiral that takes you inward, down through the layers of consciousness, past thought, past memory, past identity, into the place where creation itself waits. Picture yourself now at the top of a golden spiral staircase. It descends into soft darkness, but the steps themselves glow. Each step you take, your body grows heavier. Each step, your breath slows. Each step, the noise of the world fades. Step, you release the day. Step, you release control. Step, you release the need to understand. Step, the spiral takes you steeper. Step, effortless. At the bottom of the spiral, there is a doorway made of light. And beyond that doorway is the chamber we spoke of. The one that has been waiting. You do not need to open the door. It opens for you. And as you step through, you feel it. The shift, the knowing. That something fundamental has changed. Not in the world outside, but in the architecture of your being. This is the place where reality is written. And tonight, you hold the pen. Breathe in and feel golden light pouring into your chest. Breathe out and feel everything that no longer serves you leaving. Again, in light, out release. With each breath, you descend deeper into the spiral. With each breath, the rewriting accelerates. With each breath, you become more of who you truly are. You are safe here. You are held here. You are home here. And the spiral carries you now into the realm where miracles are ordinary. Let me tell you what was never yours. The fear your grandmother carried through war, not yours. The poverty your great-grandfather survived, not yours. The heartbreak your mother swallowed in silence, not yours. These were chapters in their books, not sentences in your destiny. But the subconscious does not know time. It does not distinguish between their pain and your pain. So it carries these stories like heirlooms, passing them down through generations. Invisible chains made of someone else's wounds. Tonight we break the chain. Imagine standing in a vast, open field under a sky filled with stars. In your hands you hold a bundle of old scrolls, brittle, yellowed, covered in dust. These are the scripts you inherited, beliefs about money, about love, about what is possible. You did not write them, but you have been living them. Now, in the center of the field, a flame appears. Not harsh, gentle, sacred. You walk toward it, and without hesitation, you place the scrolls into the fire. Watch them burn. The belief that you must suffer to earn love burning. The belief that abundance is for others, not you burning. The belief that you are too late, too broken, too ordinary burning. The flames do not hurt, they liberate. And as the last scroll turns to ash, you notice something. The fire has transformed. It is no longer red, it is golden. And from the center of that golden flame, new scrolls appear. These are written in light, and they carry only truth. I am worthy simply for existing. Abundance is my natural state. I am here on purpose, at the perfect time. These scrolls do not burn. They float into your chest and merge with your heartbeat. And your body remembers. Not as new information, but as ancient truth. This is who you were before the world told you otherwise. I release what was never mine. I reclaim what always was. And with that, the inherited script loses all power. It becomes history. And you become free. THQUNTM off passe by here is what they did not teach you in school. Reality is not solid. What you call matter is 99.9% empty space. The atoms that form your body, your bed, the walls around you, they are not things, they are probabilities. Waves of potential, collapsing into form only when observed. Quantum physicists discovered this, and it shattered everything they thought they knew. But the mystics smiled. Because they had known it for millennia. The Vedic seers called it Maya, the illusion of separation. The Hermetic teachings called it as above, so below. The Buddhists spoke of Sunyata, the void that contains everything. All of them pointing to the same truth. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. And the field of possibility is not out there. It is the space between your thoughts. The silence between your breaths. The quantum foam from which all realities emerge. This means that the life you are living is only one possibility, one collapsed wave function, but around you, unseen, are infinite other versions, timelines where you made different choices, where different doors opened, where you became someone unrecognizable to who you are now. Those timelines are not fantasy, they exist in the quantum field, and tonight, you align with one. See yourself now standing at the center of a vast sphere made of light. This sphere is the quantum field, the source code of reality. And radiating outward from where you stand are infinite threads of light, each one a different timeline, a different possibility. Most of these threads are dim. They represent lives you will never live, choices you will never make. But a few threads are glowing so brightly they hum. These are the timelines where you thrive, where abundance is effortless, where love is steady, where your purpose is crystal clear, where your body vibrates with vitality. Where every step feels aligned. Reach out now and touch one of those glowing threads. The moment you touch it, something extraordinary happens. The thread does not pull you toward it. It merges with you. It floods your being with light, recalibrating every cell, every thought, every belief. You are not becoming that reality. You are remembering that you already are. Because in the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously. The version of you that is thriving is real. They are breathing. They are alive. And tonight, you collapse the wave function. You choose them. I align with the timeline of my highest becoming. And just like that, the quantum field responds. The gears of reality begin to turn. Not tomorrow, not someday, not remember, your body is not just a vehicle. It is a library. Every experience you have ever had is written into your tissues. Joy stored in the heart. Fear locked in the hips. Grief sitting heavy in the lungs. Trauma crystallized in the jaw. The conscious mind forgets. But the body remembers everything. This is why affirmations alone often fail. You can say I am safe 1,000 times, but if your nervous system is still locked in survival mode from something that happened 20 years ago, the body does not believe you. The body needs permission to release, and tonight you give that permission. Bring your awareness now to your body. Not to judge it, not to fix it, simply to listen. Notice where there is tightness, tension, heaviness, perhaps in your shoulders, your chest, your belly. Do not push it away. Breathe into it, Inhale and imagine golden light flowing into that tight space. Exhale and imagine the tension dissolving like sugar in warm water. Again, in, light enters, out, heaviness leaves. Now whisper to your body as if it were a frightened child, you are safe now, you can let go, I am here. And feel how your body responds. Muscles softening, breath deepening, the ancient armor beginning to melt. This is not weakness, this is cellular wisdom. Your body has been waiting for this moment, for you to finally come home to it, to tell it that the war is over. That survival mode is no longer necessary. You are not just surviving anymore. You are becoming. Imagine now that every cell in your body is a tiny star, and as you breathe, those stars begin to glow brighter. One by one, they remember their original light. Your heart cells remember, I am love. Your brain cells remember, I am clarity. Your bone cells remember, I am strength. And together, all trillion of them begin to sing the same song. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. And your body believes you, because the body does not lie. And tonight, the body remembers the truth. Your subconscious is a theater. Right now, even as you rest, there is a stage inside you, curtains drawn, lights low, and on that stage, a play has been running for years, maybe decades, the same play. Every night, the characters are your beliefs dressed in costume, your fears wearing masks, your wounds pretending to be identity. The script was written by everyone except you. Parents, teachers, lovers who left, moments when you were told you were not enough. But tonight, the play ends. See yourself now walking into that inner theater. The seats are empty. Dust floats through beams of light. On the stage, the actors freeze mid-scene, turning to look at you. They are not enemies. They were only following the script they were given. You walk up to the stage and say, clearly, thank you, your performance is complete. You may rest now. And one by one they bow, and they dissolve into light, not destroyed, freed, released from roles they were never meant to play forever. The stage is empty now, the old script crumbles to dust, and then, from the wings, new actors emerge. But these are not playing roles, they are aspects of your true self. Confidence walks onto the stage radiant. Abundance follows, carrying light. Peace enters, still and unshakable. Love comes last, and the stage glows. They do not need a script, they simply are. And their presence rewrites everything. You are no longer the audience, you are the director, and the play that begins now is not a tragedy, not a struggle, not a lesson in suffering. It is a celebration, a story of remembering, of returning, of becoming so fully yourself that the universe has no choice but to bow. I am the author, the actor, and the stage, and the play I choose is joy. And with that, on your story. Before you were told who you should be, before fear carved its patterns, before the world pressed its thumbprint onto your soul, there was a blueprint. Not a destiny written by gods or fate, but a design, a sacred architecture woven into the fabric of your being before you took your first breath. This blueprint contains everything: your gifts, your purpose, your unique frequency, the specific way your soul is meant to shine. It has never been erased, only covered. Imagine discovering an ancient temple buried beneath centuries of sand. The structure is perfect, untouched, waiting. But you cannot see it yet. You must remove the sand layer by layer. You are that temple. And tonight, we uncover the original design. Picture yourself standing before a massive wall carved from pure crystal. Symbols glow across its surface, sacred geometry, spirals, codes you do not recognize with your conscious mind, but your soul remembers. This is the blueprint, the original you. As you step closer, you place your hand against the crystal, and it responds. Light floods through the symbols, downloading directly into your being. The first symbol activates worthiness, not earned, not proven, but inherent. You feel it settling into your bones. I am worthy simply for existing. The second symbol activates abundance. Not as something to chase, but as your natural state. I am the field through which prosperity flows. The third symbol activates purpose. Clear, undeniable, aligned. I am here on purpose and my presence is a gift. One by one, the symbols light up. Courage, I walk through fear with grace. Love, I am loved because I am. Health, my body remembers perfection. Freedom, I am bound by nothing but truth. And as the final symbol ignites, the entire wall becomes transparent. And beyond it, you see yourself. Not as you are now, not as you were, but as you were always meant to be, radiant, confident, overflowing, at peace. And the strangest thing happens, they smile at you, because they have been waiting. not in the future, not in some distant timeline, right here, right now, in the blueprint. And as you step forward, you and this version merge, not as two becoming one, but as the illusion of separation dissolving. You were always them, you were always whole, the sand just made you forget. I return to the original blueprint. I am who I was always meant to be. And in that moment, the temple is no longer buried, it stands in full light, and you are homo adogolo adabido adodavodio garden ofitius bomso and cios. Your subconscious is a garden, and for most of your life it has grown wild. Seeds blown in by the wind, other people's fears, cultural beliefs, inherited trauma. Weeds choking the soil, thorns where flowers should bloom. But a garden can always be tended. See yourself now standing at the edge of this inner garden. It is overgrown, yes. But even through the weeds, you see glimpses of beauty, a rose struggling toward light, herbs that have survived despite neglect. The garden has been waiting for you. You kneel down and place your hands in the soil. It is warm, fertile, alive. And as you breathe, you realize something. You are not just the gardener. You are the soil itself. Whatever you plant here grows, so let us plant together. First, we pull the weeds, not with violence, with compassion. You reach down and grasp the stem of I am not enough. As you pull, it comes up easily, roots and all, and where it was, the soil breathes. Another weed, love is conditional, you pull. It dissolves in your hands. Another, success requires suffering. Gone. One by one the weeds vanish, and the garden begins to glow. Now, you reach into your pocket and find a handful of seeds made of light. Each one carries a truth, I am abundant. You press it into the soil, I am loved. Another seed, planted with care, I am worthy. Deep into the earth, I am powerful beyond measure. The final seed, and something miraculous happens. The seeds do not wait for spring, they sprout instantly, roots spreading, stems rising, leaves unfurling, flowers blooming in impossible colors. Within moments, the garden is transformed. Where there were weeds, there is abundance. Where there were thorns, there is peace. Where there was neglect, there is paradise. Walk through your garden now. Feel the softness of the grass, smell the flowers, hear the hum of life in every direction. This is your inner world, and it is perfect. Remember, gardens require tending, but not from a place of fear, from devotion. Each night you listen, you water the seeds. Each morning you wake aligned, you let the sun touch the soil. The garden does not struggle to grow. It simply receives. And so do you. I am the garden, I am the gardener, I am the harvest, and the subconscious blooms. Let me tell you what they never taught you about money. It is not paper, it is not numbers in an account. It is a frequency, and you have been trying to attract it while broadcasting scarcity. This is not your fault. You were taught to fear lack, to hoard, to believe there is not enough, that if someone wins, someone else must lose. But that is not how the universe works. Abundance is not something you get. It is something you are. Think of the ocean. Does it worry about running out of water? Does the sun ration its light? Does the earth hesitate before blooming spring? No, because abundance is their nature, not their effort. And the same is true for you. Close your eyes deeper now and imagine standing beneath a waterfall. But this is not water, it is golden light, liquid abundance, flowing endlessly from a source that never depletes. At first you might flinch. Is this for me? Am I allowed? But the waterfall does not ask permission. It pours. And as it touches you, you feel something unlock in your chest. A knot you did not know you were carrying releases. The light flows over your head, washing away the belief that you must struggle. It flows over your shoulders, dissolving the weight of inherited poverty. It flows over your heart, erasing the wound that said I am not worthy of wealth. And as it pools at your feet, you notice something. It does not leave, it stays. Circulating, building, growing. Not because you are holding it tightly, but because you have become the channel. You are not chasing abundance anymore. You are expressing it. I am the frequency of abundance. Money flows to me because I am the path it takes. And something shifts, not in your bank account, not yet, but in the field, in the invisible architecture that shapes what arrives tomorrow, next week, next year. And when the frequency changes, reality must follow. There is a secret most never discover. The harder you try, the further you push your desires away. Creation does not respond to force. It responds to alignment. And alignment requires something that terrifies the modern mind. Surrender. Not surrender as defeat. Not surrender as giving up. but surrender as trust, as releasing the death grip on control and allowing the universe to deliver in ways your limited mind could never imagine. Think of a river. Does it fight its way to the ocean? Does it struggle against the current? No, it flows. It trusts the path carved by something greater than itself, and it always reaches the sea. You are that river, and for so long, you have been swimming upstream, exhausting yourself, convincing yourself that effort equals worthiness. That struggle proves dedication. But the universe is saying, stop fighting. Let me carry you. See yourself now lying back in warm, luminous water. You are not sinking, you are floating, held, supported. Every time you try to swim, you grow tired. But the moment you relax, the moment you trust, the current takes you exactly where you need to go. This is the alchemy of surrender, turning the lead of control into the gold of flow. Your job is not to force doors open. Your job is to become the frequency that makes doors appear where there were only walls. I surrender to the wisdom greater than my own. I trust the path I cannot yet see. I release control and receive grace. And in that moment, the universe exhales in relief. Because finally you have stopped blocking your own blessings. The dam breaks, and what was held back for years begins to flow. Not because you did more, because you allowed more. This is the paradox. The moment you stop chasing is the moment you arrive. You have been taught to live in three places. The past, which no longer exists. The future, which has not yet arrived. And you miss the only place that is real. This breath, this moment, the eternal now. The subconscious does not understand tomorrow. It does not plan for next week. It exists only here, in this present moment, absorbing, recording, creating. And when you speak to it in future tense, I will be successful, I will be happy, you are instructing it to keep those things forever out of reach. But when you speak in the present, I am successful, I am happy, I am whole, the subconscious accepts it as current reality, and it begins rearranging your life to match. This is not delusion. This is quantum mechanics. Every possibility exists simultaneously in the field. The version of you that is thriving is already alive in another timeline, and the moment you claim it now, not someday, you collapse that possibility into this reality. Feel yourself now, not as someone becoming, but as someone who already is. Not someone waiting for transformation, but someone who is already transformed. Not someone reaching for worthiness, but someone who embodies it so fully that it radiates from every cell. This is not pretending. This is remembering. Because in the deepest truth, you have always been whole. You have always been abundant. You have always been loved. The past convinced you otherwise. The future promised it would return someday. But the now reveals it was never gone. I am whole now. I am abundant now. I am free now. Not tomorrow. Not after I fix myself. Not when I finally deserve it now. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat, and the subconscious, hearing this, rewrites every program to align with the truth you have just spoken. The past loses its power. The future loses its hold, and you step fully into the only moment that has ever existed, the eternal, perfect. Inside your brain, there are roads, neural pathways carved by repetition, by experience, by every thought you have ever had. Some of these roads are wide highways, traveled so often they feel like the only road available. These are your dominant beliefs, and they dictate everything. The belief that you are not enough is a highway. The belief that life is hard is a highway. The belief that you must prove your worth is a highway. And every day, without realizing it, you travel these roads again and again, reinforcing them with every thought, every action, every unconscious choice. But here is what neuroscience has discovered. The brain is not fixed. It is not set in stone. It is neuroplastic, meaning it can change, rewire, create new pathways at any age. That old highway can be abandoned, and a new road can be built. Tonight, as you rest, your brain enters a state where new neural pathways form more easily. The theta brainwave state, the same state shamans enter during vision quests, the same state where children absorb information like sponges. In this state, the brain is soft, moldable, ready to carve new routes. Every affirmation you hear tonight is a shovel breaking ground for a new pathway. Every visualization is a brick laid on a new road. And with repetition, night after night, that pathway becomes stronger, wider, more automatic. Until one day you wake up and realize the old highway has been abandoned, overgrown, forgotten, and the new road is the only one you know. I am worthy is no longer something you try to believe. It is the road you walk without thinking. I am abundant is not an affirmation. It is a neural superhighway lit up like a city at night. This is not magic. This is biology responding to conscious intention. The brain you wake with tomorrow will not be the same brain you fell asleep with tonight. Cells will have reorganized. Connections will have strengthened. Pathways will have been carved. And you will not even notice at first. But slowly, choices will feel easier. Thoughts will feel lighter. And the life you are living will begin to match the neural architecture you are building right now. The old roads are dissolving. The new roads are forming. And you are becoming someone new without having to force a single step. There is a frequency that overrides all others, a vibration so powerful it dissolves fear, scarcity, and doubt on contact. It is not love, though it is close. It is not peace, though it contains it. It is gratitude. And when you enter its field, you become magnetic to everything you have ever wanted. Gratitude is not something you do. It is something you become. It is a state of being where you recognize that life is not happening to you, but for you, that even the struggles were gifts in disguise, that even the pain was preparation. And when you see this, when you truly see it, the universe opens like a flower. But here is the secret most miss. Gratitude does not wait for blessings to arrive before it activates. It does not say, I will be grateful when I have more money. It says, I am grateful now, for what I have, for what I am, for the breath in my lungs and the beat in my chest. And that gratitude creates an infinite loop. You feel grateful, so the universe gives you more to be grateful for, which makes you feel more grateful, which magnetizes more blessings, which deepens your gratitude, and on, spiraling upward into a state of perpetual receiving. Imagine your heart now as a glowing sun. With every beat, it sends out waves of golden gratitude. Not forced, not performed, but genuine, real, felt. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for the quiet miracle of being alive. And as those waves move outward, they touch everything around you, people, opportunities, possibilities. And those things feel the warmth of your gratitude and begin moving toward you. Not because you chased them, because your frequency called them home. I am grateful for what I have. I am grateful for what is coming. I am grateful for who I am becoming. And with each repetition, the loop strengthens. The magnetism intensifies, and life begins to overflow with blessings you did not even know to ask for. Gratitude is not passive, it is the most powerful creative force in the universe. And tonight, you activate it fully, not as a practice, now of being, and from this place miracles are not rare, they are inevitable. Fear is not the enemy, it is a messenger. It arrives to show you where you are still clinging to illusions. Where you still believe you are small, fragile, separate. But fear has no substance, it is smoke. And the moment you walk through it, you discover there was nothing there at all. For years fear has ruled your choices. Fear of failure kept you from trying, fear of rejection kept you from speaking. Fear of loss kept you from loving fully, and fear of your own power kept you playing small. But tonight, fear meets its end. Not through battle, not through suppression, but through recognition. You see fear for what it is, an echo of the past, a projection of what might happen, a story told by a part of you that has forgotten the truth. And when you see it clearly, it loses its grip. Imagine fear now as a shadow standing before you. It looks large, menacing, immovable. But as you step closer, you notice something. It has no face, no form. It is only darkness where light has not yet reached, and you realize you are the light. You take another step, and the shadow shrinks. Another step. It flickers, it dissolves, and where fear once stood there is only space, empty, open, free, and into that space, courage flows. Not as something you must summon, but as what naturally remains when fear is gone. I am not my fear, I am the one who witnesses it, and in witnessing, I am free. Fear cannot survive awareness, it thrives in darkness, in unconsciousness, in the stories you tell yourself at 3 a.m. But the moment you turn on the light, the moment you name it, the moment you breathe into it, it vanishes like mist under the sun, and what is left is not bravery in the way you imagined. It is simply presence, calm, certainty, the knowing that you are held by something far greater than your fear could ever touch. And from this place, you move forward not because you are unafraid, but because fear no longer dictates your choices. The body that once contracted at the first whisper of danger now softens. The mind that once spiraled into worst-case scenarios now rests in trust. And the heart that once built walls for protection now opens like a gate, welcoming life in all its wild, unpredictable beauty. Fear was never protecting you. It was limiting you. And now, dissolved in the light of your awareness, it becomes energy, pure potential that you redirect toward creation rather than contraction. Every ounce of power you gave to fear returns to you amplified, and you discover what the masters always knew. The only thing you ever had to fear was the belief that fear had any power at all. There is a river inside you that has been dammed for years, grief you never cried, anger you never expressed, words you never spoke, love you never gave. All of it held back, creating pressure, creating pain, creating a stagnation that blocks the flow of everything you desire. Tonight the dam breaks, not violently, not with force, but with permission, with the gentle recognition that holding on was never strength, it was survival. And you do not need to survive anymore. You are here to live, and living requires release. See yourself standing at the edge of that inner river. The water is murky, heavy, filled with everything you have been carrying, stones of regret, branches of resentment, mud of shame. For so long, you thought if you let it go, you would lose something essential. But now you understand. What you lose was never yours to keep. You step into the river. The water is cold at first, shocking, but as you move deeper, it begins to warm. You feel the current pulling at your legs, tugging at the weight you have been holding. And instead of resisting, you open your hands. The stones fall from your palms. The branches slip from your shoulders. The mud washes from your skin. And with every release you feel lighter, not emptier, lighter, as if you are remembering how to float after years of sinking. I release what no longer serves me. I let go of what I cannot control. I surrender what was never mine to carry. And the river, ancient and knowing, carries it all away. Not to punish those who hurt you, not to erase the past, but to free you from its weight. You are not your pain. You are not your mistakes. You are not the sum of your regrets. You are the witness, the presence, the awareness that remains when everything else is washed clean. And as you stand in the river, lighter than you have been in years, you notice something. The water is no longer murky. It is clear, crystal, glowing. And you realize the river was never taking from you. It was returning you to yourself, to the purity that existed before the world added its weight, to the essence that can never be stained, never be broken, never be lost. I am the river. I am the flow. I am the letting go. And in releasing everything, because what you are cannot be carried away, because what you are cannot be carried away, it can only be revealed. Of cells, you are not one being, you are a civilization. Trillions of cells working in harmony, each one a tiny consciousness, each one listening, responding, creating, and every thought you think is a broadcast sent to every corner of your cellular kingdom. When you think fear, the kingdom contracts. When you think love, the kingdom expands. When you think I am healing, the kingdom obeys. This is not metaphor. This is biology. Your cells are listening right now. To the tone of these words, to the rhythm of your breath, to the frequency of your belief. And they are responding, restructuring, recalibrating, becoming the physical manifestation of whatever message dominates your inner world. For years, you sent messages of stress, of not enough time, not enough energy, not enough rest. And your cells responded accordingly. Inflammation, fatigue, tension, they were following orders. Not because they wanted to harm you, but because they thought you needed to survive, and survival requires defense. But tonight, the message changes. You are not in survival mode anymore. You are in thriving mode, and your cells, loyal as they are, begin to shift the moment they hear the new command. Imagine now that every cell in your body is a musician in an orchestra. For years, they have been playing a symphony of stress, discordant, chaotic, exhausting. But tonight, a new conductor steps onto the stage. And that conductor is you, conscious, present, intentional. You raise your hand and the old music stops, silence. And then, softly, you begin a new song. Not with words, but with feeling. With the vibration of peace settling into your chest. With the frequency of vitality humming through your veins. With the resonance of wholeness echoing through every system. And one by one, the cells begin to play. The heart cells lead with a rhythm steady and strong. The lung cells follow, breathing in light. The liver cells join, filtering, cleansing, renewing. The brain cells harmonize, creating new pathways of clarity and joy. Within moments, the entire orchestra is playing together, a symphony so beautiful it rewrites your biology. Inflammation dissolves, energy returns, vitality floods through you like a river breaking through ice. And you feel it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. A shift so subtle yet so profound that you know nothing will ever be the same. My cells are listening. My body is healing. I am whole at the cellular level. And your trillion tiny musicians play on, night after night, rebuilding you from the inside out. Not with effort, with resonance, with the simple, undeniable truth that you are not broken. You never teach us destiny is not a destination, it is a frequency. A vibration you emit that calls certain experiences toward you while repelling others. And the architecture of that frequency is built from your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and the stories you tell yourself about who you are. For most of your life, that architecture was built by others, their blueprints, their measurements, their limitations, and you lived inside a structure that was never designed for your expansion. Walls too close, ceilings too low, doors that led nowhere. But tonight, you become the architect, not of a new building on top of the old, but of a complete redesign. A temple built to house the fullness of who you truly are, with rooms vast enough for your dreams, with windows that open to infinite possibility, with foundations so strong that nothing can shake them. See yourself now standing before a blank canvas the size of the sky. In your hand is not a brush but pure light, and with every stroke, you draw the blueprint of your new reality. Not based on what you think is realistic, but on what your soul knows is true. You draw abundance flowing like rivers through every room. You draw love as the mortar that holds every brick. You draw purpose as the foundation that supports the entire structure. You draw joy as the roof that shelters it all. And as you step back to look at what you have created, you realize something. This is not a building you will someday live in. This is the energetic architecture that is forming around you right now. The universe is already pouring the foundation, already raising the walls, already preparing the space for you to move in. I am the architect of my destiny. I design my reality with every thought, every belief, every choice. And the old structure, the one you inherited, the one you tolerated for so long, it begins to fade. Not destroyed, simply outgrown, no longer relevant to the being you are becoming. The architecture of destiny is not fixed. It is fluid. It evolves as you evolve. It expands as you expand, and every night you spend in this state of receptivity, the blueprint becomes clearer, the structure more solid, the reality more inevitable. You are not hoping for change. You are building it, one thought at a time, one belief at a time, one moment of alignment at a time. And when you finally open your eyes in the morning, you will not recognize the world you are walking into, because it is not the same world you fell asleep in, it is the one you designed while you dreamed. You are, and there is a cycle older than time, death and rebirth, ending and beginning. The snake eating its tail, and you are in that cycle now. The old you is dying, not in tragedy but in transformation, and the new you is being born, not in the future but in this very moment, with every breath, with every word, with every surrender. This is not the first time you have been reborn. You have died 1,000 deaths in this lifetime alone. Every time you outgrew a belief, every time you released a relationship that no longer served you, every time you chose growth over comfort, those were deaths, and what followed was always rebirth. But this rebirth is different. This one is conscious, chosen, deliberate. You are not being dragged through transformation by circumstance. You are walking into it with eyes open, with heart willing, with soul ready. See yourself now standing at the edge of a great fire. This is not the fire of destruction but the fire of purification, the fire that alchemists use to turn lead into gold, the fire that phoenixes fly into, knowing they will emerge reborn. And you step forward, not hesitantly, but with certainty. The flames do not burn you. They burn through you, consuming everything that is false, the identities you wore like armor, the fears you carried like chains, the stories you told yourself about who you were supposed to be. All of it burns. And it does not hurt, it liberates. Because what is being destroyed was never you. It was only the costume you wore for so long you forgot it was not your skin. And as the flames complete their work, you look down and see yourself. Not scarred, not diminished, but radiant, glowing, made of light. This is who you are beneath the layers. This is who you have always been. And the fire did not create this. It revealed it. I die to the old. I am born into the new. I return to myself again and again, in an eternal spiral of becoming. And this is not the end of the cycle. There will be more deaths, more rebirths, more shedding of skins that no longer fit. But each time, you return more fully to yourself, closer to the essence, closer to the truth. The eternal return is not a curse, it is a gift, a reminder that you are not static, not fixed, not finished. You are always becoming, and every ending is an invitation to begin again. Why do and now we enter the deepest chamber of all, the place where words dissolve, where concepts fade, where even the voice that has been guiding you must step back and let the silence do its work. Because there are truths that cannot be spoken, frequencies that cannot be translated into language, shifts that happen only when the mind finally stops trying to understand and simply allows itself to be. This silence is not empty, it is full, pregnant with possibility, humming with the intelligence of everything that has ever been and ever will be. And in this silence your subconscious opens completely, no resistance, no questions, no doubt, just pure, receptive presence. Feel the silence now, not as the absence of sound, but as the presence of everything unsaid, the space between your heartbeats, the pause between your breaths, the stillness beneath your thoughts. This is the womb of creation, and you are resting in it now, held, safe, dissolving into something greater than yourself, not losing yourself, but finding yourself in the vastness, remembering that you are not separate from the silence, you are the silence becoming aware of itself, and in this awareness, the deepest reprogramming happens, not through words, not through images, but through resonance, through the simple act of being present to the infinite intelligence that moves through all things. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to try. You do not need to understand. You only need to rest here, in the silence that speaks louder than any voice ever could, and let it work on you. Let it rearrange you. Let it remember you back into wholeness. The silence knows what you need before you ask. It knows what must be released before you name it. It knows who you are becoming before you can imagine it. Trust the silence. Surrender to the silence. Become the silence. And in becoming it, you become everything. And so, beloved, you returning now, not to the world as it was, but to a world transformed by your transformation. The room around you has not changed, but you have. And because you have changed, everything you touch from this moment forward will carry a different frequency. You are not the same person who closed their eyes. That person dissolved in the river, burned in the fire, rewrote themselves in the quantum field. And what remains is essence, truth, the you that was always underneath, now shining without obstruction. As you drift deeper into sleep, know that the work continues. Your subconscious is absorbing everything. Your cells are recalibrating. Your neural pathways are forming. Your energy field is expanding. And tomorrow when you wake, you will notice something, a lightness, a clarity, a sense that something fundamental has shifted, even if you cannot name it. This is not the end, this is the beginning. Because every night you return to this place, the transformation deepens. The old patterns weaken, the new ones strengthen, and day by day, you step more fully into the reality you are creating. You are worthy, you are abundant, you are loved, you are powerful, you are free. These are not affirmations, they are recognitions, remembrances of what has always been true. And tonight, as you surrender completely to sleep, let these truths settle into every cell. Let them weave themselves into every dream. Let them become so deeply embedded that when you wake, they are no longer something you believe. They are something you are. The universe is conspiring in your favor. The field is responding to your new frequency, and reality is bending to meet you exactly where you are becoming. Sleep now, beloved. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. Sleep knowing that you are held by something infinite. And when morning comes, you will rise not as someone hoping for change, but as someone who has already changed. The transformation is complete. The becoming is eternal. And you, luminous one, are finally fully undeniably home. Rest now. Let go. And let your reality change without effort. For it already has,